TitleMatchNetwork.com.
Memories of working on the movie Ready to Rumble.
Awesome experience. Again, stressful, man. You put a bunch of wrestlers in an environment they're not used to, and then you're dealing with people that are on tight schedules, producers, directors, who who are used to having people be very professional. You have a bunch of people show up high on pills and drugs and stuff. I was in a tough spot, man. I was the go-between between these fucking fucked up wrestlers.
Any guys you want to name that were fucked up? Or
no, but watch the movie, you can probably figure it out. And then, there were certain stunts in that movie that four-post thing, they call it the four-post massacre. And we had to do that shoot legit, man. I had to lay there as the king. And for people who don't know, I was the stunt double for Jimmy the King, who was Oliver Platt. Anytime there's any physical contact, it's pretty much me. Oliver didn't do much. But we had to do it, me laying in the ring and four guys jumping off all four corners and all landing pretty solid. To do that with guys that, I'm trying to think of the four who did it. I know at least one wasn't fucked up. The other three might have been. I don't really remember, but there was definitely incidents during the filming of that movie. But that stunt was fucking crazy. I mean, I don't know if you've ever seen four people in a real wrestling. I don't know if, and we had to really do it. And we had to do it live. We had to do it, roll, and then the crowd gets into it, and it's felt very real. And you don't see fucking, the timing on that was rough. And that was hard. It was hard being the go-between for the wrestlers and the production people, and that was tough. It was hard. Kurt Angle again. I mean, not Kurt. Kurt Hennig was again he's hysterical, man. I love Kurt. Me and him bonded a little bit on that movie too. But right after the 4-point massacre, they all beat the fuck out of the King, and I was down there for that. And Kurt was fucking kicking the shit out of me, dude. Because you notice it's a movie, and it's like that's the way he was, man. It was fucking funny, but you watch that movie, that motherfucker's stiffing the shit out of me.
Huh. Memories of the Champagne Canyon gimmick?
I was out in California, I doing the whole Ready to Rumble thing. I met with Russo in Vegas when we did a Vegas pay-per-view. I drove over from LA. First time I got to meet Vince, and we talked a little bit about what we were going to do when I came back. And I think it was his idea to play up the whole Hollywood thing. I was out in LA with Shane Helms, Hurricane. Me and him were the two that were working on that movie together. When Eric sent me out there to do that movie, I said, I need somebody with me. I don't want to do it by myself. I don't want to be by myself.
Right.
I just hired 10 cruiserweights. Eric asked me to hire 10 cruiserweights that looked like they were about 18. He had an idea for a Saved by the Bell type show on Saturday based on a bunch of kids that had their own wrestling league. And then the first hour would be them in high school having fights and stuff, like Saved by the Bell. And then the second hour would be an actual wrestling show where those actors actually wrestle each other on the show. It was an interesting idea. Peter Angle, who does Saved by the Bell, was backing it. So that's why I had to hire those guys. So it was right after I hired them, and then they were sending me out to LA. I'm like, I don't want to be by myself. He goes, well, you can't have anybody off the roster. Take one of your cruiserweights. So I met Shane a couple of times. He stayed at my house. I had a big house in Atlanta. And those guys him and Shannon Moore had to come over from the Carolinas and be at the school 5 days a week. So they crashed at my house 4 nights. I had a shitload of rooms. So those guys crashed there. So I got to know them. I got to know Joey Matthews pretty well. He was my second pick. If I didn't take Shane, I was going to take Joey. But Shane agreed to do it. I mean, he went out there and he knew Champagne. Champagne, I think his name is from...
Omega.
Yeah, good old Champagne. Everyone knows Champagne. So that's where the name came from. So I called him up and told him the gimmick we were doing, and that would it be all right I love the whole first name Sham, last name Payne.
Right.
I mean, I wasn't going to be able to use that, but I like the Champagne name. So I called him and asked if I could use it. He said, fine. Told Russo, yeah, let's go to Champagne. So they made they got all those fake bottles and everything. And then he calls me back and goes, don't use it. I'm like, dude, I already told him we could. He's like, well, I'm going to sue you. I'm like, don't sue me, dude.
Right.
Like, what are you going to do? I got to do what I got to do. I already told Russo. I'm not going to, this first thing I'm doing with Russo, I'm not going to fucking tell him to cancel the whole gimmick. Like, if you got to sue WCW, sue them. I'm like, you gave me verbal permission, and that's why they're doing it.
Did he ever sue?
I don't even know if he looked into it. I never heard from him again. I told him I didn't want to hear from him again.
Was it uncomfortable playing a womanizer?
Very. Watch the tapes, man. I'm very uncomfortable. I hated it. It felt very unreal and felt forced every fucking time. I hated it. I hated it. I thought it was wrong to do, too.
Were you able to play the gimmick outside the ring and build the expensive cars and first class airlines? To
Oh,
WCW?
yeah. WCW paid that whole thing. No. Vince did do that. Very few people know. Vince did that for $1 Million Man. Ted DiBiase.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, no. They didn't do it.
Did it ever bother you that some people might have looked at the character as a Godfather ripoff at all? Or? And they pulled the character pretty quick, too. Why is that?
Because I think they pulled it because it was getting somewhat over, especially the bottles.
Right.
I think the character itself wasn't getting too over, but every time I used that bottle over someone's head, it got a huge reaction, and I was getting a lot of wins because of that. I used the fake bottle. And people, I think, knew, but the good thing about those stupid bottles, the fake glass, when it breaks, it makes little teeny splinters. And like when I hit Bam Bam, because his head has no hair, it made a lot of teeny cuts, and blood came down. So I think it added to people thinking, holy shit, this might be real.
Yeah.
And, Sullivan came to me and said, hey, they told us it's too violent, you can't do it. And then, every week after that, people hit each other with bats and crowbars, and I'm thinking, I found out it was a crock of shit. He didn't want me to do it anymore.
Title Match Network, your source for everything pro wrestling, with exclusive live pay-per-views featuring top talent from around the world.
Oh, I like that one.
Details direct from the source with deep diving shoot interviews and podcasts.
I love it. I love being a part of Title Match Network.
Get extreme with exclusive death matches.
I threw the door!
And of course, the best selection in women's wrestling available.
Oh!
What's going to happen?
With thousands of clips featured on Title Match Network's YouTube channel with over 2.3 million subscribers.
Oh!
All at the tips of your fingers. Every style available 24/7 on demand. Visit TitleMatchNetwork.com to sign up today and start watching instantly.
Watch thousands of exclusive shoot interviews right now on TitleMatchNetwork.com.